Hey, what's up, fuckers? It's Christopher Rausch, your No Excuses coach. And the discussion I'm going to have for you today is going to be pretty heartfelt. And I'm doing my first TikTok live. I've been able to do a TikTok live for a while, but I haven't found the right message. So this is going to be a new experience for me, but it is all from the heart. And I want to share something with you that happened to me today, and it's regarding politics. And no, I'm not going to talk about who I'm voting for or anything else. I'm going to talk about a couple of experiences that I had today because I'm going to invite you to consider having those same conversations in your life. And if you watch the news, if you watch the media, you will find that 50% of us are against each other. That's what they're trying to propose. But I don't care if you're black, white, short, gay, Republican, Democrat, whatever label you want to put on it, I love you all. And you're entitled to your vote and you're entitled to your opinion. Here in the United States, of course, we're talking about. What I want to mention to you is that here's something to consider, that we're all more the same than we are different. Yes, of course, we have different beliefs. And I know there's a lot of you out there on both sides going, what in the fuck? How could you vote for that person? And people are name calling. And I don't like that. I don't like that because when you think about it, if I grew up in your life, your experiences, if I went through what you have gone through, might I be like you? Might I be like you? I posted this about my mom. I was able to find empathy and compassion for my mom who abused me, and we were homeless, and all these different things happened. And I thought, if I grew up in 1942 as a female to her parents, to all the different inputs in her life, might I have turned out like her? And my answer was yes. And as soon as I said yes, I let go of a lot of anger and resentment and hostility because I was able to see things from her eyes. I don't agree with it. I think she could have done better, but it allowed me to see her as a hurt little girl rather than from my perspective as a hurt little boy. And that's what I'm inviting us to do. You know, I know the election here in the United States is coming up on Tuesday, and I'm not here to change your vote. What I'm here is to ask you to listen, because I learned in my life to seek first to understand and then to be understood. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. And so oftentimes we want to be understood. So oftentimes we want to be right. Oh, I'm going to be right. I'm going to be right. But what does that do? That puts the other person in the corner, and it makes them come out defensive, and they're going to prove to you that they're right. And nothing's going to happen except for a lot of hostility and name calling and frustration. And then what do? We go to the people that agree with us, and we're like, guess what? I just had this conversation, and we're like, get that confirmation bias. That's what a lot of the social media posts are. They're not going to change anybody's mind. They're looking for confirmation bias. And so today, I have two friends of mine. I'm not going to name them, but we disagree wholeheartedly on who the next president should be. We disagree wholeheartedly on a lot of the facts. But like I said before, we're more the same than we are different. And thank you guys for being here. I'm not watching the names. I'm just staring into the camera right now, but I'll check that out. So thank you guys for being here. My first live, so thank you for being here. But what I did is I reached out to somebody because, you know, something that happened in the news yesterday. And I said, I'm not going to bring up any of this stuff. As I said, okay, was that enough for you? What we saw, what was said, was that enough for you to change your perspective a little bit? And that person was like, no. And they started to defend the situation. And I started getting mad. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? But then I stopped and I said, can you tell me more about that? How do you find that acceptable? Help me understand where you're coming from. Rather than me calling you names, rather than me saying you're stupid, rather than getting all pissed off and losing a friendship, how can I understand where you're coming from? Because I'm missing something. I am obviously missing something because you're a great person in every other area of your life. You're giving, you're loving, you're generous, you're smart, you're funny, you're all these things. But right in this one space, we disagree with each other whole fucking heartedly. And that's what we need more of in this world. We don't need the news media and politicians to win. I see people from all over the world. I have traveled all over the world as a professional speaker. I've met people from all cultures, all religious backgrounds, all sexual orientations. And guess what? All you motherfuckers are really goddamn awesome. Really awesome. Black, white, short, straight, gay, Republican, Democrat, any label you want to put on it, you guys are all fucking awesome. And I've met some jackasses, of course. You know, the world isn't perfect. But more so than not, like my friend in the community of North Carolina, he said from North Carolina here in the States, we had a hurricane. And I said, what's going on there? And we got on the phone. And he said, man, seeing the community come together. And he was nearly in tears. He goes, seeing the community come together, when you look on the news and think that 50% of us are divided, he goes, there isn't a single person going, who are you voting for? You're wearing a Trump shirt. You're wearing a Kamala Harris shirt. I'm not going to help you. He said, there is zero of that. Everybody's pulling together as Americans, as citizens, as humans. We're humanity, ladies and gentlemen. We need to act like it. Don't let the news and don't let the partisanship and don't let the bullshit separate you from your neighbors and your loved ones, because we're in this together. And it's sad because sometimes it takes a catastrophe for us to get our head out of our ass. Like here in America, I know there's people all over the watching. 9/11 happened. I saw American flags. I saw people opening doors. I saw people buying lunches. I saw people being courteous on the fucking freeway of all things. Yeah, go ahead, get in, man. You're my brother. You're my sister. And sometimes we need a catastrophe. And I pray, I'm not a religious person, I'm a spiritual person, but I pray literally every day for this world not to monkey fuck itself into oblivion. My son deserves, your kids deserve, we deserve a beautiful place. We deserve to let this place go to our kids and our kids' kids and say, hey, you know what? We didn't fuck it up. We didn't make it go crazy. Again, thank you for all the comments and I'm new to the live stuff. I do the 60-second TikToks. But we deserve that. And we need to do that for ourselves and be that light and be that change. And it starts with loving us first. It starts with loving ourselves first, because you don't love yourself, then guess what? How do you expect to love another person? And I coach people all the time and I ask them that question, yes or no, do you love yourself? And a lot of people, about 80% of people who I talk to say, yeah, Chris, I don't know. And I'm like, wow, but you expect love and you expect success and you expect respect and all these different things. But yet you're not loving yourself and you're coming out angry and frustrated because it's certain and it's controllable and you're in power. My mother was that person. She had zero self-confidence, but she was an angry motherfucker. So she got to be right all the time. These people are so stupid. I grew up with that. And I told myself I would never grow up to be that person. And God is my witness. I have never been that person. I have been a loving, kind, caring person. Sure, I've had my moments of frustration. Trust me, I'm human and I apologize for those. But my message to you guys today is to have those tough conversations. I did that with two people. One guy nearly called me stupid, and I private messaged him. I said, dude, don't call me a fucking name. I have a right to my opinion. I have a right to my belief. It doesn't make me stupid. It makes me a person who has had these experiences in my life, these inputs in my life, these people in my life, this perspective in my life. And that does not make me wrong. It doesn't make me anything. It makes me a human being, and it makes me a person that's reaching out because I care. I could easily call you a name right now. I could easily get in your face and make you feel like shit. But that's not my intention. My intention is to say, hey, listen, man, I see what you're doing, and it's not helping humanity. I see what he's doing. He's a beautiful person. He's a musician. I'm not going to say who he is. He's a somewhat famous musician. I know a lot of people. I'm like, bro, you're a beautiful person. Stop acting like this. You're trying to split the world down the middle, and you're not going to change anybody with your fucking social media post. Nobody's going to go, oh my God, I think I'm going to change my social media. I'm going to change my presidential election post because this guy just proved that this was happening, or this girl proved that it was happening. No, all you're going to do is get confirmation bias, and I'm doing psychological research on there. So if there's anybody out there watching this and knows this, we all need to belong. Right? That's why gangs are so important for kids, because they get a sense of belonging. I was just talking to a gang member the other day that wanted to kill himself. And he said that he started to get into a gang because that's where he got the father figures from, because he doesn't get it from his father. And it's what's happening is it's the gang mentality. We're all like, oh, us versus them. If you're not this supporter or that supporter, then that's ridiculous. And so we're finding community in hate. We're against those people. We're against those people. They're out to do this and nobody's out to do shit. So many people are being fucking manipulated. Good Lord. I would love 2 different presidential candidates. I would love term limits on these old motherfuckers that are in Congress. I would love the fact that special interest does not exist. There has been more money raised for fucking ads and other bullshit for the presidential campaigns and all the different initiatives that could go to feeding people, could go to housing people, can go to mental health, can go to kids having a start. All this money. I was looking at the initiatives when I was doing my voting. I did my research, and there was all this money raised, $35 million raised for this initiative. I'm like, that's $35 million that could feed a lot of fucking people. That's $35 million that gets some people some restorative help that have been in the prison system, that unfortunately recycles people into the prison system, because I had a friend in the prison system who told me all about it. And I was like, huh? I thought prison was just where you went to be bad. No, the governmental contracts, that people win that, and they want you to go back in, and it's this whole thing, and explain to it all of it. And it blew my fucking mind. So sometimes we just don't know what we don't know. And so I invite you guys, as the community of the Misfits for Life, that's what I call my community, the Misfits for Life, because we're all misfits. We're all kick-ass motherfuckers wherever we come from. Again, I don't care what you look like. I don't care where you're from. I mean, I care, but we're all people. Like, I donate blood every 8 weeks, and every 4 days later, I get something that says your blood was used at a local hospital. I'm type A negative, so I'm pretty rare. And I do that. And I know that somehow, some way, I helped another person stay alive. And we need to do that for each other. Be a beautiful person. Go to sleep at night going, man, I did something for somebody today. I reached out and just said hi. I say hi to everybody. I look like this. I look like an intimidating motherfucker. I'm 6 foot, 220 pounds. Tattoos. I look like I'm intimidating. Hi, how you doing? Have a great day. I go to the cashier. I try to be that one person that when that cashier goes home and somebody says, how was your day, honey? Oh my God, there was this guy with a hat and a bandana on backwards. It looked like a rock and roll star that was made me laugh, or maybe said something really appreciative about the fact that I'm there serving people. Can you imagine? I'm out to change the world. Just me. I'm out to change the world by doing stuff like this, because just imagine this. Think about this for a second. All of us, 8 billion people on the planet. Oh, I get chills. I want this so bad. 8 billion people on the planet spend the next 2 weeks doing something nice for a complete stranger. Every single person does it. We do something nice for a complete stranger. You will feel so much better at the end of the day. I promise you. I do nice things for people all the time. I feel amazing. I have a very blessed life. But I go to bed thinking, man, I made that person smile today. I saved a guy's life the other day. He was a biker dude that was ready to take his motorcycle down. We all get this opportunity and this beauty in this life to be the person that we respect and we admire. Who do you respect and who do you admire? How can you be a little bit more like them? If you're a religious person, how can you be more Christian-like and God-like and Jesus-like and whatever it is to you, so that together we can understand? But I had those 2 conversations today, and they were difficult. And I nearly wanted to say, fuck this. I'm tired. I'm over it. But I believe that just in my little way, because at the end of the one conversation with the musician, he says, brother, I love you. He goes, and I'll always be here for you. But he was getting frisky as far as, starting to call me names and starting to say, man, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. If you believe in this, da-da-da-da. But at the end of the conversation, he says, brother, I love you and I'll always be here for you. Same thing with my other friend, motivational speaker space. Same thing. Oh, man, you drink the Kool-Aid and you do this and you do that. But at the end of the conversation, we both said we love each other and we're here to support each other. And guess what? Probably in 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years, we're going to look back on this situation and go, oh, fuck, one of us had a totally wrong perspective about what was going on. And that's the thing. Don't be there to go, ha-ha. Don't be there to go, neener, 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 I told you so. Be there to say, hey, help me. I can help you understand now a little bit better. Are you ready to understand? Are you ready to talk? Are you ready to listen? And you can do this in every area of your life. I encourage you with your friends and your family and people you have differences with. Don't die with your differences still in you, because you will regret that shit. I speak to people and I coach people all the time. Have those tough conversations. Sit down and say, you know what? I've been an asshole. And I want to understand from you. I really want to listen and understand. And don't interrupt people and don't go, well. Just shut the fuck up and listen. And guess what? Then you paraphrase back to that person and say, wow, Chris, this is what I heard you say. And then that person goes, oh my God, he heard me. I actually got heard. I mean, when was the last time you really got heard and listened to and felt understood and felt respected and felt like, holy shit? You start doing that, you start feeling better. You start feeling better, you start doing better. You start doing better, and this world starts to change energetically. So just imagine again, 8 billion people go out there and do one nice thing for a complete stranger. We don't watch the news. We don't follow politics. We accept people for being beautiful human beings in their own space and their own time. What can happen? What can happen? I know people in North Korea, South Korea, China, Japan, Ukraine, Russia, India. I know people all over the world, and guess what? Not a single fucking person wants war. Not a single fucking person wants to get back at another person. I know Russians that are beautiful people. I know people, I literally, all over the world. It's no joke. I have a podcast that's a top 10% rated podcast. We're in 28 plus countries. I hear from people all the time. I travel the country. I travel the world. People are beautiful. They're not trying to come after. They don't want that. They want to live in harmony. They want to be able to go and, hey, I want to go to the United States. Hey, man, I want to go visit the Ukraine. I want to go see Croatia. I want to go see Japan. I want to go see whatever it is. We're all more the same than we are different. That's my message to you is please stop calling people names. Stop saying that they're wrong and you're right. Understand. Still, you may not agree, and that is totally great. But at least if you understand a little bit better, maybe you can say something to the next guy that goes, oh, God, those people that are voting for so-and-so are assholes, and they're stupid, and they're ignorant, and they should be shot, and blah, 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 blah. No, hey, you know what, man? I hear what you're saying. But guess what? I just had this badass conversation with somebody today, and let me just share this with you. And again, they may blah, 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 and maybe that person isn't your person. You know, if somebody doesn't want to listen, if they don't want to grow, if they don't want to change, then maybe you need to let go of those people. Because I could tell you this, you're like the 5 people you're around the most. And so if you got a bunch of yesers and yeah, Chris, yeah, Chris, yeah, Chris, if you don't have somebody going, Chris, let me push back on that for you for a second. Hey, Chris, I completely disagree with that, and here's why. If you don't have people in your life like that, guess what? You're not growing. I've proven that 1,000 times. You need people in your life that are going to say, hey, Chris, can I get you to see it a different way? Hey, Chris, have you thought about this? Right? You don't want a bunch of people that are just going to commiserate with you. You don't want just a bunch of people in your life that are going to agree with you, and that confirmation bias is not healthy, right? We want to grow. We're here to grow. Think about the legacy that you get to leave. And I want you to think about this before I let you go. Because normally I don't do stuff like this on the weekends, but I just felt called to come up here into my studio and spend a little bit of time with you and say this. If you died tomorrow, who would show up and what would they say? I did that to myself in 2008. I was at a funeral. And I thought, man, if I died tomorrow, who would show up and what would they say? Because I was watching all these people, beautiful people, eulogize my coworker who died. And I really didn't know her. I knew her, but I didn't know her. And I found out she was doing all these beautiful, amazing things. And I thought, fuck, if I died tomorrow, 10 or 15 people would show up with Miller Genuine Draft and Jack Daniels and Bon Jovi and Motley Crue records. And guess what? They would talk about all the stupid shit Chris did. Oh my God, remember that time he got drunk and passed out? Remember that time he did this? Remember that time he got busted dating 3 girls at one time and they all showed up at his house at the same time? Remember that time? And then the postscript would be, oh yeah, he was a 7th grade homeless dropout who lived in the backseat of a station wagon with 18 cats and 4 dogs and wrote a book, which I'm actually going to publish next year, of my life story. It's Just You and Me Kid. You can check it out at itsjustyoumandmekid.com. And he changed the world. I didn't want the postscript on my life to be a whole bunch of fucking jokes and anecdotes and stupid shit that I did while I was drunk and partying. I want people to know that I care and that I love you guys as humanity. Whether you fuck up or not, whether you've been, wherever it is that you've been in your life, you're here right now and today, and we're having this amazing moment. I love this. I have never done a TikTok live yet. I just got over 1,000 followers not too long ago. So I thought this would be a perfect opportunity for me to go live, to connect with you as a human, and try to have a beautiful moment and maybe just get you to think a little bit different about the hostility and the frustration and the dividedness, and just to be a little bit more understanding and respectful and love yourself. Number 1, love and care for yourself. Take care of yourself. Hydration, nutrition, sleep, exercise, vitamin D. You can all do them. You start taking better care of yourself. You start feeling better. You start associating with different people. You start getting different results. You start building your self-confidence. You stop feeling so angry and resentful and lonely and frustrated and all those things, because I was there. I was a homeless kid. I was beat up at school. I was beat up on the way home from school. I was beat up at home. I had zero self-confidence. But slowly but surely, I went from being a 7th grade dropout to having a master's degree in 12 years, the same year I bought my first house. I've been a coach and a speaker for over 20 years. I had a successful corporate career. I live in a beautiful home with my son and my wife, and we're having a beautiful family day. We're going to have chicken noodle soup. And I came up here just to say, listen, can I do my part today to try to connect with some motherfuckers and say, listen, let's make this world a beautiful place. So I haven't been able to look at the comments. I hope I get to go back and I can scroll through those. But I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking the time to watch this. I have no idea how many people are watching in it. But I just feel that hopefully this can live on and we can be the change that we bitch about, that we can be more loving and kind and compassionate to one another, especially ourselves. If you're interested, my show is called Raw and Unscripted. You can check it out, rawandunscripted.com. You can find me at noexcusescoach.com. Of course, it's in my bio headline thing. I have a YouTube page with 1,000 videos of just stuff like this where I'm talking about how to have a better life. And that's my goal, that if I did die tomorrow and this was the last thing I did, that my son could look at it and go, fuck, Dad was on point. Dad was living his purpose, even on a Saturday, when normally it's just family day and I just take the weekend off from all this stuff. Together, you and I can make a difference, all right? So go out there, kick ass, take names. Let me know how you find this video. Let me know what's going on. Let me know if you disagree with that. I'd love to know that too. And just find one person in your world that you disagree with and have a conversation with them and just talk to them. Like, hey, let me jump on a FaceTime with you. We have the beautiful technology now to jump on a call and have that conversation. And I promise you, it won't be easy. It'll be challenging. But when you hang up and you both say, hey, I love you, irrespective of our differences, the world becomes a better place. You become a better person. All right. So love and appreciate you. Again, I have no idea what the numbers are and everything like that, but thank you. Thank you if you can share this out, if you so choose, or save it, whatever it is that we can get the message out. I would love and appreciate you. You can send me private messages, I think. So just let me know. All right. I love you guys. Shit house mouse. I don't know how to fucking end this. All right. Stay kick ass unstoppable, people. I love you guys. Misfits for life. Peace.